Yo, what up y'all, IntraVenus here, back with another episode. Today I have brought yet another tiny arcade to the show to see if it's worth the money. And once again, I am most excited so far about what I have here today. This is just called, at least on the package, the Arcade Game Plug and Play Desktop Arcade Cabinet with the 2.8-inch TFT screen and built-in 156 in one 16-bit games. Now, the games and pictures on the side don't really have much to say, but what this actually is like a Sega Genesis, aka Mega Drive, on a chip. There's no micro SD card or anything unless it is soldered onto the board somehow inside. It's just got the games built in. However, Sega Genesis works great for arcade style play, and I was really excited to get my hands on this. Another reason why I picked this up is because Amazon.com is starting to join in this race to sell the cheapest and, most questionable games. They're starting to sell even knockoff Pokemon games for Game Boy Advance are listed now on Amazon.com in the United States of America. You can buy them next day shipping. It's insane. So this I got because it's on AliExpress and Amazon.com, and for once it's pretty much the same price. Usually when you find something on Amazon.com that is, the same item, you go find it on AliExpress and it's like a quarter of the price. Well, this, in fact, you can find these for about $25 on AliExpress. I paid $29.99 for it to get next day shipping on Amazon.com. So here we have the Arcade Game Cabinet. It's actually really neat, and on the back you'll find that you can put in what I have here is the included rechargeable battery, but it also has the ability to do some AA's, which is interesting. I used to have one of these tiny arcades when I was a kid that had Galaga on it, or maybe it was Galaxian, and I loved that thing. It was from like the 70s or 80s. You have to center that up just right. And I loved that mini arcade. Now, something to take note about is, me personally, I work with arcades. I'm an arcade technician, and I've been repairing arcades, hundreds of them, for 6 years and more. And I love arcades. I loved playing them as a kid, and I've always wanted my own arcades in the house. I haven't yet sprung on an arcade one-up cabinet, mainly because they take up so much space. And this is right up my alley, because it's freaking tiny. So here we have this wonderful game cabinet. It has a light up marquee here. Might be kind of hard to see in the lights, but this actually lights up like an actual arcade unit. We got our slightly clicky arcade stick, A, B, C, X, Y, Z buttons. We got start and reset. This one's labeled as volume, but it also is just a duplicate of the start button. I think that button was there for a model that did not have a volume slider on the side. Luckily this one does. We got a wheel that controls the volume. Gets pretty freaking loud, by the way, and it has some, simple music for the menu. But right off the bat, we got games like Super Street Fighter 2, and I got to tell you, this thing is freaking awesome. So let's go ahead and check out some gameplay, and then we're going to go ahead and connect it to a tiny TV because it does do video out, and we're going to see how it functions that way. So thanks for tuning in. Let's zoom in. Alright, I decided to give you a little bit of an angle here so you could see what it's like to get the controls and look down on it as if you're actually towering over this awesome arcade unit. So let's go ahead and start out with some Super Street Fighter. Ninja Turtles, The Hyperstone Heist, y'all. Remember this one? Classic. Woo! Classic. Unfortunately, you can't line up next to someone and do two-player with this. There might be a way to link two cabinets, though. I haven't really looked into that. I believe that's a possibility, but probably not, because I haven't seen it advertised anywhere here. We've got Raiden, or Raiden. Comic Zone. I know a lot of people know about Comic Zone these days, but when I was growing up, I found this game for sale used at a mom and pop rental store, and I had no idea what it was, but it was the only Sega game they had, and I wanted a new game, and I loved this game. Unfortunately, my copy didn't come with the CD soundtrack that some of them did, but you would be surprised how well this game plays on an arcade. I don't know if it was actually meant for an arcade. I never saw an arcade with this game on it. But it actually would have been perfect. I love this game. It's pretty difficult. However, it's fun and it plays really well on here. I mean, it's just... there's something about using these controls that makes it more fun to me. Maybe because I grew up playing arcades before they became these like ticket-winning, prize-winning machines that you see most of the time now. Back in the day, it was just about playing the game, trying to beat it. You put in a quarter to get some more lives, so you could try to get to the end, or beat your friend. So cool. Now, speaking of old-school arcades, I don't know about you, but I really like pinball. And there is a pinball game on here, at least one. This is the one I've been playing. And this is Psycho Pinball, I think it's called. Yes, Psycho Pinball. Unfortunately, the music is very weird here, so I'm going to turn that down. I don't know if it's supposed to sound like that. I'll turn it back up when it's mid-game. Also, I don't know if this is made by the creators of Vector Man, but it seems kind of similar. Especially, you know, some of the style here. The way this is written reminds me of Vector Man. So you could choose from 4 different tables. And the physics and stuff are actually really good in this one. I like it. Alright, here we go. This game is actually really good if you like pinball. And if you don't, I can understand why, but there's a lot of fun to be had with these pinball games. Now, there are, you know, quite a variety of games on here. We have Echo the Dolphin, we've got Batman Revenge, we've got Ghostbusters, Dick Tracy, Wrestling Gaiden, Ghouls and Ghosts, Decap Attack. There's a good selection of games here, really. There's only a few games that I kind of wish it had that it doesn't seem to have. One of which would be NBA Jam. There are a couple basketball games on here, but NBA Jam was my thing. And then I don't think there's any Mortal Kombat on here. Oh wait, I'm wrong. There is Mortal Kombat. Oh yes. And the Sega Genesis version was the one to have as far as the original. I feel like they changed some of the moves and how you do them from the first one, so I don't really remember how to do too many of these moves. It's been so long since I played this first one. Just looking at it reminds me of, oh, there we go. This just reminds me of my childhood. Now this does have columns and Tetris on it, which I think are both welcome inclusions. We've got Alex Kidd. You know, there is Sonic the Hedgehog, and we got Sonic 3D Blast even, which actually might be more fun with this style of control, honestly. The thing about the Sega Genesis is it had that kind of floating D-pad that lets you go in all directions easier, and it, you know, it switches over to this perfectly, you know, just works well. Blaster Master 2, Battletoads and Double Dragon. There's a lot of good stuff to be had here, you guys. So, what do you think about this? Ooh, B.O.B. Love that game. I could just have a lot of fun on here. Let's go ahead and see how it looks on the TV, because supposedly it connects to it. So it did come with these cables. One of them's a USB-C cable, which is welcome for charging. The other one is a mono video out RCA cable. So let's go ahead and see what this is going to do for us. In the manual, it says to have your unit powered off when you're going to switch to video, so I will do that to try to avoid any glitches. You know, this is actually a decently long cable here. I was wondering about connecting it to a screen and how well that would do, but we've got like, I don't know, maybe a 3-foot cable. It could be longer, it could be shorter too, maybe 4 feet. I got my mini TV here. Let's go ahead and plug in the video. We won't be able to do audio because this TV is mainly meant for higher definition audio options, though you could always run this to a speaker if you'd like. Let's turn it on. And there it is. We can see here that it's not maintaining the same aspect ratio as this square screen, so when you put it over on a widescreen TV, it is going to show up in widescreen, so we might have some stretched out characters. It might not look as well as you remember it. See how it's kind of squished over here? But you know, I mean, what do you expect from this? It's not the best, but just the fact that it could do video out at all is pretty cool, and I bet if you connected this to like an old school CRT with the correct aspect ratio, it would probably look a lot better, and not just the squareness, but it won't look so blurry because it's really not meant to be stretched out like this. However, let's go ahead and throw some Hadoukens real quick. There we go, Hadouken! Alright, y'all, so there we have it. This is the arcade game, Mini Arcade Cabinet. These come in multiple colors. You can go ahead and check them out on Amazon, AliExpress, all these places. I'll leave a link to purchase it from Amazon.com in the description, though you can find it all over the place. Thanks so much for sticking around to the end of the episode. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. Are you planning on getting one? Have you gotten already? Do you like the Sega Genesis or Mega Drive? Works pretty good on an arcade cabinet. Thanks for sticking around. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're not already. I really appreciate it. I got a lot more coming. And until next time, I'll catch you on the next episode. Peace out.
Childhood, we were all there together, and in denial would play like it was forever. And in the tall woods, we'd stay out of the weather like it was all good. Every day we made it for pleasure. We were saying whatever came to our minds, plain and simple like a tetherball reaching the sky. We were taking new heights on the swing while it was making us fly. Beat the king of the hill and everything will be fine. The thrill of everything we would find, the innocence of a child.